Good morning. I hereby call to order the Board of Directors meetings of the New Jersey Transit Corporation, New Jersey Transit Rail Operations, Inc., New Jersey Transit Bus Operations, Inc., New Jersey Transit Mercer, Inc., and New Jersey Transit Morris, Inc.
Good morning. Please mute your phones and turn your attention to the public safety announcement.
At New Jersey Transit, your safety is our highest priority. Please listen to these safety instructions in case of an emergency. In an emergency, announcements will be made over the loudspeaker or by a uniformed police officer. The primary exit for this location is the stairwell adjacent to the elevators, which can be located by exiting the boardroom and proceeding through the glass doors. There is a second alternate staircase that can be accessed through the door at the front of this room to the right behind the board dais. New Jersey Transit Police will administer CPR and use the defibrillator located near the elevator if necessary. Fire extinguishers are located in the front and back of this room. Please be guided by the directions of the New Jersey Transit Police and staff. As a reminder, members of the public are not permitted to approach the dais and should only share board meeting materials with New Jersey Transit staff at the reception desk. Thank you and have a safe day.
At this time, I would ask everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I will now take roll call. Board Member Brown? Here. Board Member Gordon? Here. Board Member Morocco? Board Member Morocco? I believe he's on, but he might have technical difficulties. Board Member Medina? Board Member Medina? One moment, I think we're just having trouble with our remote. Let me try again. Board Member Morocco? One moment. We'll come back to the remote participants. Board Member Thomas?
Here.
Board Member Caniff?
Here.
Board Member Cruz?
Here.
Vice Chair Carson?
Here.
Wonderful. Board Member Morocco?
I'm here.
Thank you. Board Member Medina?
Here.
Chair Gutierrez-Scacchetti?
Here. Record note that I have to leave the meeting today
Okay,
where I will then join virtually, and Board Member Keenan will run the meeting. Conclusion.
sounds good. Thank you. And also for the record, Vice Chair Carson and Board Members Morocco and Medina are participating remotely. Board Member Nara will join later, and Board Members Doshi and Weiss are absent. This is a meeting of the New Jersey Transit Corporation and its affiliates and subsidiaries. Adequate notice was provided in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act and NJ Transit's enabling legislation. Notices were filed on September 8th, 2023, with the Secretary of State and sent to newspapers of general distribution, posted in the main entrance of NJ Transit's headquarters, published on the corporation's website, and sent to each individual, agency, and organization that requested such notice.
May I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the July 19th, 2023 board meetings?
So moved, Caniff. Second, Cruz.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, Megan, please call roll.
Roll call vote. Board Member Gordon?
Yes.
Board Member Morocco?
Yes.
Board Member Medina?
Yes.
Board Member Caniff?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair Gutierrez-Scacchetti?
Megan, I will abstain because of my absence.
Okay, motion carried.
At this time, I will call on President and CEO Corbett to present the President and CEO's monthly report.
Thank you and good morning, Chair and members of the board, and good morning to all members of the public joining us in person and online. Instead of beginning with the ridership as usual, I'd like to briefly highlight a significant organizational achievement since our last board meeting in July that most of you have probably already heard about. But last month, NJ Transit received what is arguably the most coveted award in public transit, the American Public Transportation Association 2023 Outstanding Public Transportation System Award, the highest accolade among North America's largest public transportation systems, as voted on by our peers. The last time NJ Transit received this distinction was 23 years ago in the year 2000. On a personal note, I'm truly honored and humbled to be the head of such an awesome team of nearly 12,000 employees whose hard work and commitment is responsible for earning us this recognition, particularly when you look at what we went through in the pandemic. Moving on to NJ Transit's ridership, overall weekday rail ridership is between 65 to 70% of pre-COVID levels on average, with midweek at approximately 80% and many peak hour trains at or above pre-COVID levels. Overall weekend rail ridership remains at approximately 95% of pre-COVID levels. Overall bus ridership system-wide remains at approximately 85% of pre-COVID levels since our last report, with interstate ridership into New York at approximately 80% of pre-COVID levels and intrastate bus ridership at approximately 90% of pre-COVID levels. Overall light rail ridership is holding steady at approximately 80% of pre-COVID levels, with HBLR ridership at approximately 90%. Although NJ Transit ridership remains relatively steady over the summer, anecdotally, while speaking with some of our train crews, and even seeing it this morning coming in, we're noting how much fuller the parking lots are in the last few weeks, and as well as on the trains. It seems to be, as we see students and people returning from summer. So we look forward to seeing what September's figures look like at the end of the month. I would say why we notice some people may be reluctant to go to work 5 days a week. We certainly know they are enjoying the being out and active in the personal life. And in that regard, NJ Transit also successfully moved more than 175,000 people on our BET MGM rail line to and from MetLife Stadium since our last board meeting for more than a dozen major concerts and sporting events, including 3 Bruce Springsteen concerts. It has been gratifying to see NJ Transit become a significant aspect of the fan experience for many of the concerts we serviced, a trend picked up by news outlets including Good Morning America and the New York Times in their style section. Beyond the fan experience, an analysis conducted by Streetlight Data of vehicular traffic around Taylor Swift concert venues across the country this past summer gave New Jersey and NJ Transit extremely high marks for our emphasis on public transit options. In fact, thanks to NJ Transit service, the study noted that MetLife Stadium was the only stadium where vehicular traffic, measured as vehicular hours of delays, or VHD, actually decreased, calling New Jersey a real standout while referring to MetLife's location as being the most populous region in the country. VHD decreased 19% on average around the stadium over the course of the 3 nights as compared to normal traffic around the venue. Other cities with far less robust transit options to Taylor Swift shows, including Glendale, Houston, Arlington, Nashville, Tampa, Atlanta, and Las Vegas, all saw significant traffic increases around their stadiums, averaging a 90% increase in vehicular traffic, with one actually seeing an increase as high as 847%. To us, that means that NJ Transit service not only allows concert goers to have a fun and positive pre- and post-show experience, but we're also reducing their carbon footprint in the process. In addition, our success at these events clearly demonstrates our preparedness and ability to tackle the ultimate challenge in 2026, when New Jersey proudly serves as host for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. As service at MetLife helps spur economic growth in the state, we also investing in targeting community-focused improvements to ensure that every New Jersey resident has access to efficient and effective public transportation. For that end, I'm pleased to note that NJ Transit has received a competitive grant from the Federal Transit Administration for $600,000 to redesign bus routes in Patterson and Passaic. The grant is part of a nationwide Areas of Persistent Poverty program designed to improve or start transit programs for residents with limited or no transportation options. to further enhance and promote access to public transit for our students attending partner colleges and university. NJ Transit is proud to bring back our popular buy 3 months, get 1 month free promotion for students. They buy September, October, November passes and receive a free monthly pass for December. Through this promotion, with a 25% discount on monthly passes, students can save more than 60% off transportation to campus during the fall 2023 semester when compared to purchasing one-way transportation. For details on this program and to learn how colleges and universities can participate, please visit njtransit.com/studentpass. We have another busy agenda this morning with 16 items up for board consideration. I'll briefly highlight 2 of the more notable items. First, the board will consider a contract that will move us into phase 2, which includes 30% design, for a new facility to replace our Walter Rand Transportation Center in Camden. This project, supported by significant investment commitment from the Murphy administration, will modernize and expand this vital transportation hub to better connect South Jersey rail, bus service, and provide improved connectivity to Camden's growing medical, education, and industrial development areas. The board will also consider a contract to begin our new Bus Hudson bus redesign initiative, which will lever CRISA funding, along with the discretionary grant we received for this initiative last year in July. New Bus Hudson will allow for a comprehensive review of the local bus network in Hudson County, help identify emerging market needs, and develop recommendations that maximize system efficiency. NJ Transit, in fact, already working closely with local Hudson County officials who are eager to maximize growth in the county and take advantage of new development and employment patterns. As NJ Transit works behind the scenes on an immediate emergency service plan, in the light of ANC's recent and disappointing decision to cease bus operations in Jersey City later this fall, New Bus Hudson is a necessary and timely study that supports a longer-term, holistic, and strategic public transit vision needed for the county. Turning our attention to infrastructure, on September 6th, I was pleased to join Governor Murphy and Commissioner Gutierrez-Schetti, along with Congressman Frank Pallone, Assemblyman Dan Benson, and Long Branch Mayor John Pallone, at our Long Branch station to celebrate a significant funding increase for New Jersey Transit, which will advance infrastructure projects across our system. Our Commissioner and Board Chair deserves extraordinary credit by facilitating the allocation of approximately $425 million in federal FHWA funding for New Jersey's transportation system, $315 million of which is coming to NJ Transit, funding 15 important capital projects, including the new pedestrian tunnel at Long Branch, connecting the east and west side of the city, and improving safety and accessibility. Some other of the projects include accessibility upgrades at our Roselle Park and Bloomfield Wetessing Avenue stations, bus electrification upgrades at our Hilton Bus Garage in Maplewood, our Delco Lead Storage and Inspection Facility, which will improve service by enabling us to more quickly return rail cars back into service following extreme weather, and the repair and replacement of bridges and decks throughout our system. Again, these are just a few examples of the 15 projects that will now be funded thanks to the Commissioner's swift action. NJ Transit celebrated another infrastructure milestone on September 12th when I was pleased to join just this past Tuesday. Join Elizabeth Mayor Chris Bolwage, Senator Joe Cryan, Assemblywoman Annette Chiano, and Assemblyman Reginald Atkins at our Elizabeth Station to mark the opening of the new station building and the platform on the eastbound side, or the New York-bound side of the station. There we all greeted customers as we welcomed them to the station building, complete with new elevators and a new platform with 2 soon-to-be-open climate-controlled waiting areas that significantly enhance the customer experience for more than 2,700 customers who use this station every weekday. And we expect the entire project to be completed this winter. I'm also pleased to note that our Portal Bridge replacement project, which again is the single largest construction award in our agency's history, has reached a major milestone. Last month, we achieved 25% completion on the new bridge, which is advancing at a furious pace. Anybody who's been by it, and many officials have and commented, when you look out the west side of the train, you'll see, but for those who don't, as a reminder, if you want to check out our progress, you can do so by visiting njtransit.com/portal to view a daily project snapshot and some great time-lapse video. On the technology front, last month we released a new version of our highly rated NJ Transit mobile app, which currently boasts a 4.8-star rating on the Apple App Store with over 188,000 reviews, adding some great new features and updates. For example, by leveraging departure vision data, a new View Next Train feature displays the next train available at our customer's location after they buy a ticket. Similarly, a new feature called Nearby within My Bus section of the app displays bus stops near a customer's current location. This latest version adds many other improvements as well, too numerous to go into now, but suffice to say they will benefit millions of customers who are using our mobile app in higher and higher percentages every month. In the past month, for example, 1.2 million customers have used our mobile app, which is up 2% from the previous month. And in the past year, 4 million customers have used our app, which is up more than 40% from the previous year. As we continue to advance all of these customer-facing improvements, we're equally focused on internal company resource optimization and to ensure we remain on our path to becoming a world-class transit agency. To that end, I am pleased to share 3 significant personnel announcements at New Jersey Transit. First, we welcome Binu Thomas to our team as our Senior Vice President and Chief Admin Officer. In this role, Binu is responsible for procurement, human resources, civil rights and diversity, and information technology. Binu brings a wealth of knowledge and expertise with over 15 years of experience at the MTA in progressively responsible administrative and operational roles. We're also pleased to add to our leadership team Jim Keene as our Senior Vice President and Chief Safety Officer. Jim comes to us from the Port Authority with more than 40 years of safety experience, where he most recently served as their General Manager of Operational Safety. And lastly, it is my pleasure to announce that promotion of Rich Schaefer, who is promoted permanently to the position of Senior Vice President of Capital Programs. And in his time as acting Senior Vice President of Capital Programs, Rich has continued to advance our $17 billion capital plan, which prior to that, as our chief engineer, he was the one who actually led the development and the release of our first ever 5-year capital plan. So I ask you all to join me in extending a warm welcome to Binu and Jim, and a hearty congratulations to Rich. By the way, Jim is joining NJ Transit just in time as for Rail Safety Week, which begins on Monday. Aligned with Rail Safety Week, NJ Transit is again rolling out 2 innovative safety programs for students: Special Safety Education Awareness Training, or Special SEAT, and our Protecting Our Pedestrians, or POP. For more information on these programs, please visit njtransit.com/SEAT or njtransit.com/POP. And in wrapping up this morning, we have some other further good news to get out there. In addition to the APTA Outstanding Transit System Award I mentioned earlier, pleased also to note that NJ Transit has once again been recognized by Forbes as one of America's best in-state employers for 2023. That's our 3rd consecutive year with that distinction. This year we ranked 5th among the 89 New Jersey employers, including in the rankings, up from last year's ranking of 7th. And we're ranked 1st in the transportation and logistics category. Finally, as many of you know, 2023 is the 40th anniversary of NJ Transit rail operations, and to celebrate, we have planned a number of special events this year. Most notably, on the weekend of September 30th, NJ Transit and the United Railroad Historical Society of New Jersey are partnering to operate a special excursion train named the 40th Anniversary Express between New York and Bay Head. We're thrilled that tickets for this excursion were extremely popular and sold out online in just 8 minutes. Following day, October 1st, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., all members of the public are invited to our historic Hoboken Terminal for a special display of NJ Transit's heritage-decorated locomotives. We also have something special planned for this board meeting. This morning, we've invited several employees who have been with NJ Transit Rail Operations since its founding in 1983. And that's been 40 years or more, including those who came to NJ Transit through predecessor railroads, inviting them to be recognized in a photo op with a little ceremonial proclamation we have here. Their commitment and dedication have been instrumental to the success of NJ Transit Rail Operations through many rough ups and downs over the past 40 years. So with that, will all the employees who are here today who have been serving NJ Transit Rail Operations and our customers for 40 years or more, please stand. And with that, we have a certificate of appreciation. So if you'd all just come up for a group photo. And with that, Chair, that concludes my report.
Thank everybody for their patience as we recognized such an important part of our organization. At this time, we will be opening the meeting to public comments. Are there any public comments from the public this morning, Megan?
There are 4 in-person speakers and 4 pre-registered telephone speakers. Speakers, in order to give everyone an opportunity to be heard, comments will be limited to 3 minutes. We will first take comments from pre-registered in-person speakers, followed by any additional in-person speakers. We will then take comments from pre-registered telephone speakers, followed by any additional telephone participants who are queued to speak. Those participating by telephone, if you have not already done so, please press *1 on your telephone keypad to enter the queue to speak. You will hear a brief tone to indicate you have successfully entered the queue. The first speaker is David Peter Allen, followed by Alita Dupree.
Good morning. I'm David Peter Allen. I have been riding NJ Transit Rail since day one. I am here today as chair of ScatterTAC, the Senior Citizens and Disabled Residents Transportation Advisory Committee, and this statement is an official report from our committee. After our semi-annual summary report in July, we are returning to our shorter format this month. That does not mean that we were not busy during the past 2 months. We are planning for the near future, from preparing to hear presentations from most of our county providers, to looking forward to better service on Access Link, to preparing for 2024, which will be a big year for us. As Mr. Corbett mentioned, next year will mark the 45th anniversary of the start of New Jersey Transit, and we look forward to participating in the celebrations. In addition, the Senior Citizens and Disabled Residents Transportation Assistance Act of 1983, the statute that established our committee, as well as the ScatterTAP grant program for counties and other providers of transportation for seniors and persons with disabilities, took effect on January 17, 1984. We are planning to commemorate our 40th anniversary at our January meeting, which is scheduled for January 22nd. We want to welcome board members and senior managers to join us to commemorate our founding, and we will have more to report about our plans as we go along. The season for hearing presentations from the county transportation providers is now in full swing. This interaction is an important part of our statutory mandate, and we will pay special attention to innovative practices. They include operational designs like route deviation service and working with shared ride taxi companies, innovative funding practices, and coordination with other counties and other organizations like nonprofits. As we have reported before, we are deeply concerned about the fiscal cliff that is looming for New Jersey Transit and all other transit providers when the money from the COVID-19 relief funding runs out. There is already a great deal of pressure on the county systems, which could become much worse if this happens because of the increased demand due to anticipated cuts in fixed route service, and that includes when bus companies abandon a route. Even though the provider's ScatterTAP funds and other formula grants and other grants are safe. We are still concerned about service on Access Link, which is vital for persons whose disabilities hinder them in their efforts to use fixed route transit on buses or rail. Several of our committee members use Access Link, so there is legitimate reason for our concern. We participated in the Access Link Forum held on August 23rd in Linden, where riders complimented the customer service agents, but also expressed their own concerns about service issues. One of the most prominent issues is that pickup times are not well coordinated for riders who need to be somewhere at a specific time, a problem that our own members face when they use Access Link. We have been suggesting the use of a destination-based scheduling system that would set pickup times that would get riders to their destinations in time for their appointments. If anyone here has suggestions that relate to transportation for seniors or persons with disabilities, we would like to hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Alita Dupree, followed by Paula Rogovan.
Thank you. Good morning to Chair. Alita Dupree, for the record. My pronouns are she and her. This is my first time in here, but I've talked to you on the phone a few times. And I'm simply an ordinary user of NJ Transit. Been using NJ Transit since 1980, both bus and rail, and I use it a lot. And I used it today. Took the train to come here. A little late due to signal issues, but I think that's an Amtrak thing. And overall, things are doing okay. Most of the time, the buses are air-conditioned. That heat wave was challenging, but we generally did okay. Things happen. And how do we build the best New Jersey transit that we can? And I use the MyTix app to pay for my tickets. And over the years, I've written letters and talked to people about seeing the new features added. I use the 320 most of the time through the Harmon and the North Bergen parking ride. So it's a very helpful route to me. And I did get to see the Portal Bridge. I was on the correct side of the train, so we're getting somewhere. But sometimes I'm afraid to use the train because of the issues with the tunnel and the signaling and the power, and that's an Amtrak thing. And how do we lean on them? Because I don't want to be afraid to use the trains, and it only costs me $2.45 to come over here. That's a pretty good deal. And I think about resiliency, and the train ran on electricity, and I want us to have a renewable electricity powered railway, and hopefully we'll have the electric buses out there on the road soon, because I don't want that to be a novelty. I think about BART in California. There's no way I can make it to Oakland, but I can talk to them on Zoom. They're going to meet later today. And they are pretty much greenhouse gas free on their electrified railroad, which I use a lot when I'm in the Bay Area. So overall, 43 years of New Jersey Transit. It is one of the things that I look forward to when I come to this area and stay in Secaucus, in the Harmon neighborhood. So it's good to be in here in person with you, and I thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Paula Rogovan, followed by Tim Sevener.
Good morning, Paula Rogovan from Don't Gas the Meadowlands Coalition. I had thought that the President Corbett would announce the bidders for the transit grid. But again, there's a delay, another delay, and another delay, and no understanding by the public, no transparency. Why is there a delay? What's going on? We really would like to know. Commissioners, I urge you once again to take a stand and cancel the proposed gas plant and pivot to the renewable energy microgrid as you promised in 2020. The strategy report says that renewable energy, doing this, a transit grid with renewable energy is doable, it's cleaner, it's less expensive, it's better for people's health, especially in the community of Kearney, which is an environmental justice community, and it's better to ward off climate change. Commissioners, I plead with you again to be responsible. You are an official public commission. Governor Murphy's executive order in 23 and 2018 called on every department, every commission throughout the state to do everything possible to protect environmental justice communities. A gas plant hurts people's health, especially in communities that are overburdened by pollution. That means you, each one of you, this is your responsibility. I know it's difficult to stand out, to speak up, to risk public or media criticism. I know some of you worry that you won't be reappointed to the Transit Board if you speak up, because this has happened before. But you have a responsibility to the public. Demand that New Jersey Transit cancel the RFP for the gas plant and pivot immediately to a renewable energy microgrid from the start, not a transition in 2030, 35. Provide support to bidders for locating sites for solar panels. Reminder again that FEMA in 2014 warned against using gas plants for power, because during storms, the source of the gas is often cut off. This Sunday, September 17th, thousands of people will march to end fossil fuels.org to meet at train stations and bus stops, travel together to New York City for the march. In addition to calling on President Biden for a moratorium on fossil fuel projects, we are saying to Governor Murphy, stop the 7 fossil fuel projects, including the New Jersey Transit gas plant. Use the $10.5 billion from highway expansion for mass transit. Make a just transition to renewable energy. I hope that the governor's representative, who is here at this meeting, will take time not just to sit at this meeting, but to report our concerns directly to Governor Murphy.
Thank you. The next speaker is Tim Sevener, followed by Sally Gellert.
Hello, I'm Tim Sevener, a board member of the New Jersey Association of Rail Passengers from the Transit Village of Mount Tabor. And of course, I support, as we always have, the solar renewable with battery backup and some on-demand only natural gas for the transit grid. This would be an excellent opportunity to be the first solar rail. Well, actually, PATCO has 50% power of solar rail. But another remark, so I just barely got here because the New York bound train was canceled. Earlier this week, trains were once again redirected to Hoboken, which begs the question that we've been asking for 15 years now. When are we going to get back the Hoboken trains that we lost on various lines, and also the pass service as an option? Because Hoboken has 30 tracks. It doesn't have the issues of the tunnel in New York Penn Station, which even as they build the Gateway Tunnel, it's going to take 10 years to build it. What are we going to do in the meantime? Morristown, Maplewood, all these train stops, Kevin Corbett knows. I don't know if he made it here okay this morning. Maybe he took an earlier train. But we've lost 10 trains in each direction solely to Hoboken. I don't understand why we don't utilize this resource. And meanwhile, I see in the budget that they redirected funds from buses, from rail rolling stock to buses, which is good to do buses, but shouldn't we be leveraging our rail, which is really the most, electric rail is the most energy efficient land transportation that there is. As I've told you before, this is according to the International Energy Agency, says the way to the future to reduce our greenhouse emissions is get people out of cars, electric cars, or any kind of cars, and onto electric rail. We need to do that. Meanwhile, in the last week, because New Jersey Transit has dallied for, a decade, extending the Hudson Bergen Light Rail, now they've called a halt and asked for a new EIS. When are you going to build the Hudson Bergen Light Rail? On another issue, instead of the $10.9 billion
Thank you. The next speaker is Sally Gellert, followed by the telephone speakers.
Passwords. Okay, my printer ran out of ink last night, so I have to do this on computer and my... Okay, here we go. So we have been, Sally Gellert from Lackawanna Coalition. We've been disturbed about the demise of DeCamp and Coach USA ending Sunday evening service on the Essex County lines, and now it's even worse. The lines are scheduled to be closed completely. ANC Bus Corporation is dropping routes in Jersey City, and residents in those areas will also be abandoned. Since New Jersey Transit did not share the COVID-19 relief funds with private carriers, you are now obligated to pick up the routes from the companies who could not maintain service without it. Residents of those communities deserve to have service maintained at the previous level, not a skeleton level. We continue to support the call for a solar transit grid, one and done, not stopgap today, solar tomorrow. Many environmentalists will be joining the march to end fossil fuels, as Paula mentioned. Knowing that many marchers are not familiar with New Jersey Transit trains, coalition members will be at some stations to help folks navigate senior fares, ticket vending machines, apps, advice on getting through Secaucus Junction and New York Penn Station. If new riders have a good experience, they're more likely to come back. So we're glad to support New Jersey Transit putting its best foot forward in handling the more than originally expected crowds. From Joe Clift, a warning to New Jersey Transit Board members. If you do not demand that New Jersey's 3 Gateway Development Commission members object now to the current design of GDC's Palisades Tunnel section of the $16 billion Hudson Tunnel project, slated to move forward later this year, a completed new tunnel will provide 0 additional morning peak train capacity into Manhattan, the stated main objective of Gateway, until the entire $40 billion Gateway program is built, which may not happen for decades, if ever. The design must be changed to follow the original access to the region's core plan and bring the new northern track under the existing NEC tracks, where it can merge with the north outbound track. The result, trains coming from Manhattan will be able to use the new tunnel to get on the outboard track of the new Northeast Corridor without conflicting with inbound trains, making it possible to immediately increase the current peak capacity of 24 trains per hour into Manhattan to 30, an increase of 6 trains without any additional spending on Gateway. Members have mentioned that My Transit mobile application does not sell transfers, though it easily could. In addition, there have been occasions when bus drivers will not sell a transfer to a rider boarding, sell a transfer for cash to a rider boarding with an electronic ticket. Those with monthly rail passes can use them on buses. Why is that not also true for those with monthly bus track? Especially when there's
Thank you. Operator, we would now like to open the floor for public comments by telephone participants, beginning with those who pre-registered to speak.
Thank you. As a reminder, if you have not already done so, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad to enter the queue to speak. You will hear a brief tone to indicate you have successfully entered the queue. Each speaker will be given 3 minutes for their public comments. A warning will be provided with 1 minute remaining, and again with 15 seconds remaining. There are 9 public comments in the queue. The first public comment is coming from Andy Weiss. Andy, your line is live and your time will now begin.
Good morning. Where is our customer advocate? Where is our customer advocate? Where is our customer advocate? This is ridiculous, unbelievable. I mean, I don't understand how you're allowed to do this. This is mandated by law. We're supposed to have a customer advocate. It's now years now. We're going on years. This is ridiculous. I mean, get your act together. Another issue that I have is the NJ Transit Hudson Bergen Light Rail debacle to Bergen County. Unacceptable, just completely unacceptable that this we didn't get the funding. You're giving funding to lousy electric buses and all this other garbage. We need the Hudson Bergen Light Rail extended to Bergen County ASAP. Get the money from the Transportation Trust Fund. This is top priority, this project. We've been waiting 20 years. You keep messing up with the environmental impact statements. You keep doing it over and over and over. I've never seen an agency this incompetent. Do your job and extend the Hudson Bergen Light Rail. Do your job. And a final thing, the privatization of NJ Transit bus service to all these terrible private bus operators. Awful. What an awful decision by NJ Transit. Just another terrible decision of so many other terrible decisions to these private bus operators. They're all going bankrupt. They give us terrible service. The buses don't come because they rely on profit. That's the problem. This is a government function. It should always be a government. Stop outsourcing. Stop privatizing NJ Transit.
1 minute remaining.
Do your job. Help us out. We need the customer advocate ASAP. ASAP. We need the Hudson Bergen Light Rail extended to Bergen County ASAP. We've been waiting 20 years. I want attention to this. I want your attention. This is a top project that needs to be funded. This needs to be, we need to extend it. It's been 20 years. Thank you.
Thank you. The next public comment is coming from Matthew Bushitz. Matthew, your line is live and your time will now begin.
Thank you very much, operator. Good morning, everyone. On July 25th, 2023, I spoke at a New Jersey Turnpike meeting considering, a possible bus route with your corporation, from the Port Authority bus terminal to the Turnpike headquarters. For people who live in New York, they would have to go to Penn Station, to Woodbridge Township, to, forgive me, I have autism, and then maybe have to take like a taxi or an Uber there. So I would consider maybe next year's budget to consider to work with the Turnpike Authority and possibly the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey to come up with a possible bus route from the bus terminal to the headquarter building, or shuttle from the Woodbridge train station to the Turnpike. And I know the chairwoman, Gutierrez Scotetti, also chairs the authority commission as what the Commissioner of Transportation for the state does. Thank you. God bless you. And I'll turn it back over to the operator. Operator?
Thank you. The next public comment is coming from Adam Reich. Adam, your line is live and your time will now begin.
Good morning. First off, I'm glad to see New Jersey Transit partnering with the United Railroad Historical Society on the 40th anniversary excursion. I would ask, I reached out to URHS before tickets went on sale, asking for an accommodation. I've followed up since then. Health considerations preclude me from riding the excursion, but I would be able to participate in the photo stops. Can New Jersey Transit staff either work with me to get an accommodation or ensure that United responds to me on this, since they are New Jersey Transit facilities and this was an event open to the general public? It's ultimately New Jersey Transit's responsibility to ensure accessibility, so assistance would be appreciated. Second, I'm not sure if board member Nora is in the meeting yet, but if she's not, can somebody please ensure that she provides an update on the customer advocate position, specifically where are we in that process? Are we at, a round of interviews? Are we waiting on a response to an offer? Any specificity would be appreciated. Further, the ABC campaign. I would stress that when it started, there was a good resource put out, a map, that showed much of the rail system, but not all of it. Noticeably, the map did not show stations past Jersey Avenue on the Northeast Corridor. The significance of this being that 3 of your top 10 highest ridership stations are Trenton, Hamilton, and Princeton Junction. They were not on that map. Even if the intent is to target only New York riders, leaving out 3 of your top 10 stations in this resource is a deficiency that's pretty glaring, and something that I stress I do not believe would have occurred if you utilized the Customer Advisory Board. Please, let's have a dialogue on this campaign. There are ways you can improve it. Even this week, you announced availability at stations between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m., which doesn't line up with commute times that they have to be at their desk in New York by 9 a.m. And again, I think it's great that you've been working with Railway Historical Societies. I would just ask on the Customer Advisory Board, where we've been waiting for 3 years for the meeting we were promised, and an initiative, I might add, that Mr. Corbett touted, that you could put some fraction of that energy into reaching out to us, engaging us in some way. Have a call, even if it's not a formal meeting until we get a customer advocate. Or if you're doing Friends and Family Day at the Meadows Maintenance Complex, perhaps invite us there. Something to show us that, you know, help us build some goodwill. Let's start a relationship, something that, you know, at least acknowledges our patience. Finally, with delay reports at Operations and Customer Service Committee meetings, and strongly encourage
15 seconds
to change
remaining.
how reporting occurs. Specifically, when you have a service disruption on a rail line, have staff report from both endpoints. Staff acknowledged the 90-minute delay out of New York on July 3rd, but didn't mention during the last Operations and Customer Service Committee meeting a 5-hour delay out of Trenton. Even if New Jersey Transit really couldn't do anything in that moment, it's material information that should be acknowledged, because there are certainly ways the experience could have been improved upon and can be fixed in the future. And if staff cannot help reverse peak riders, that is another reason to use a resource like the Customer Advisory Board. Again, let's collaborate. This does not have to be something we ignore each other on. We can work together to make things better for all of our stakeholders, especially riders. Thank you.
Thank you. The next public comment is coming from Mira Prinz Array. Mira, your line is live.
Hi, good morning to the chair and to the commissioners. This is Mira Prinz Array. I'm the councilwoman for Ward B, representing the west side of the city that is directly impacted by the closure of the AMC bus line. Last month, you heard from myself, fellow elected officials, and most importantly, residents that are going to be directly impacted by the closure of these lines. And I'm cautiously optimistic that our voices are being heard, with Governor Murphy intimating that there may be short-term funding through the Economic Development Corporation, and this morning hearing that there are going to be studies on long-term solutions for the A&P bus lines, because we do want to make sure that we have good service while we look at short-term and long-term solutions for the residents of the city. I'm just here again today to let you know that I'm committed to working with the New Jersey Transit Board, my Hudson County delegation, and been in regular conversation with Assemblywoman Knight and Commissioner O'Day on how we can all best work together to make sure that we are supporting the needs of the residents of the west side of the city specifically, and Jersey City in general. I thank you for your time this morning, and please know that we are here to help and work with you all to ensure that vital service remains, because no city and no region thrives without a really great public transportation system. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. The next public comment is coming from Christian Noel. Christian, your line is live, and your time will now begin.
Hello, my name is Christian Noel from Fort Lee, and I want to comment on the transit grid project. You know, we've tried appealing to you using logic, evidence, you know, a report by an engineering firm. We've tried humor. We've tried cooperating with you, appealing to your sense of humanity, pleading with you, even insulting you. And you still seem to be pursuing a fossil fuel-driven option for transit grid. And, you know, we're not going to stop. We can't let you do that. So, you know, I'm kind of like running out of ideas, because I feel like we've tried everything, but I'm just letting you know we're not going away. And, I want to reference Ibram X. Kendi, who wrote How to Be an Anti-Racist. And he writes that at this point, either you're a racist, a person, right? Either a person is a racist or an anti-racist. That if you're not working to fight racism, then you are complicit in it. And, whether you accept that or not, another way to think of it is either you're part, this is a very simple way to think of it, either you're part of the problem or you're part of the solution, right? And, I see that applying to this situation. Either you are pro-fossil fuels or you're working to end new fossil fuel infrastructure. Because if you're not working to end it, then you're complicit. You're complicit in the development of new fossil fuel projects. And you're in a position of power to have something to say about this. So that's really significant. And there is no more we didn't know, right?
1 minute remaining.
Okay. And so, I know there's a representative for Governor Murphy there. So, like Governor Murphy likes to say, New Jersey is number one. We're the best. We deserve first prize for environmentalism. But really, this won't matter when the world is on fire or underwater. And really, I'm calling on you to, not allow a fossil fuel-driven solution to the transit grid project, and to Governor Murphy to require the maximization of non-carbon-based renewables from the bidders. Okay, so no more excuses, no phony biogas, no more deflection. We must prioritize a renewable alternative. Thank you.
Thank you. And the next public speaker is William O'Day. William, your line is live and your time will now begin.
Yes, good morning. County Commissioner Bill O'Day, District 2, Hudson County. I service and serve as representative for the area impacted by ANC Bus Company, which will be out of business in 45 days. I was happy to hear some comments earlier that there are some plans, short-term and hopefully long-term, to address that. I cannot emphasize the critical nature of getting a plan out there to the public sooner rather than later and letting all the elected officials, Councilwoman Prezeri spoke earlier, we're all united in helping to make sure that the state identifies and finds the funding to be able to implement this. But timing is of the essence. We can't wait till the 11th hour. The areas impacted by those lines are low and moderate income neighborhoods. Many of those neighborhoods are isolated. There are 2 public housing sites that, but for that bus line, are totally isolated from any form of mass transit. And they cannot afford Uber rides, so they're literally put in a no-win situation unless those lines continue to operate and continue to operate at the same level of service as they had. I just urge you to continue to get that plan not only done, but let us know about it. Let the community know about it. Let the electeds know about it, because every day my office receives calls. I know the council person's office receives calls, and the state legislator's office receives calls. What's going to happen on October 29th? And I really appreciate the fact that there seems to be some positive movement, but I urge you to let the information get out to the public, because people are worried, people are concerned, senior citizens, people that live in public housing, people on fixed incomes. They can't wait till October 27th or 28th to find out if they're going to have a way to get to work and if they're going to have a way to get to food. There are food deserts where they live in, and this bus is the lifeline for them to be able to get to a supermarket to be able to buy food for their family. Thank you.
public comments remaining in queue, please press star 1 if you wish to make a public comment. The next public comment is coming from Elizabeth Ndoye. Elizabeth, your line is live and your time will now begin.
Thank you. My name is Liz Ndoye. I live in Hoboken. I've spoken to this board, the proposed gas-fired power plant in Kearney many times. This time, I'm going to get personal about this issue. I am of an age where, surprisingly to myself, I am wishing for a grandchild. I am literally, physically craving the possibility of having a baby in my life. Unfortunately, this will never happen for me. Why? My incredibly intelligent daughter-in-law refuses to have children in the face of a future in which the planet is burning. She sees no rational reason to try and raise a child in an environment that will not provide him or her with enough clean air, water, or healthy food to sustain a life worth living. Sadly, I have no argument to refute her very sound logic. So as a woman facing the end of my life, I will be deprived the joy of watching my offspring grow and mature. Now, I know you could probably care less about me, but what about your grandchildren, your children, your wives, mothers, husbands, fathers, aunts, uncles, your neighbors, the community that you serve? How can you continue to support a plan that can only work with a dirty fracked gas source of energy? This Kearney Power Plant plan is, as we have said repeatedly, an ill-conceived idea that will be outdated before it's even built, that will waste New Jersey taxpayers' money, and most horribly further pollute the
1 minute
already
remaining.
filthy air we breathe here in Essex and Hudson counties. The stratagem report that we have given you demonstrates that a renewable energy-based solution for the microgrid consisting of solar battery storage and a small-scale emergency use only gas turbine is technologically feasible, far more resilient and more economical, and better in every way for our health and climate than a gas plant-powered system. I, for one, do not want to wake up tomorrow morning a statistic like the poor survivors of the wildfires in Maui or the victims of the most recent climate crisis horror, the massive flooding in Libya. And I would bet you do not either.
15 seconds remaining.
Protect your children and grandchildren's futures. Protect the people of New Jersey. Protect us all. Pull the RFP for this power plant. Tell Governor Murphy to stop this project. Do the right thing. It's not too late. Stop the Kearney Power Plant. Look for renewable energy sources. Thank you.
Thank you. The next public comment is coming from Ken Dolsky. Ken, your line is live and your time will now begin.
Thank you. Ken Dolsky from Don't Gas the Meadowlands Coalition. Our coalition recently sent you a letter describing the many risks transit faces with its current plan to build a gas power plant for its transit grid project. I have two more risks to add. First, I recently sent you a study from the Institute for Energy Economics and Financial Analysis entitled Private Equity in PJM, Growing Financial Risks. This first risk this study identifies is the recent drop in capacity prices. The study examined the rising financial risks now facing private equity and other private firms, risks that contrast sharply with the previous strong, steady growth of the 2010s. It states the relatively stable and high capacity payments from the system operator that have enabled the build out of so much privately owned fossil fuel generation capacity in PJM have disappeared in the last 3 years. That decade-long growth spree was underpinned by relatively high and relatively stable capacity prices. Those prices have collapsed, squeezing existing and new developers alike. This will be a major issue for any entity trying to sell power back to the grid as transit grid plans. So please review your economics on this because they no longer are valid. The second risk identified in this report is that the single largest cause of PJM outages during Winter Storm Elliott in 2022 was the failure of gas supply. As warned by FEMA and as mentioned earlier by Paula, gas should not be relied on as a fuel for backup power. The whole purpose of transit grid is to provide power during storms, which is precisely when gas power is most at risk of being unavailable. This is a most major flaw in the transit grid plan. Lastly, I wanted to mention the letter Senator Gordon Johnson sent to Kevin Corbett on September 8th. The senator stated, "I strongly support building a power plant that utilizes clean, renewable energy. And I urge New Jersey Transit to consider options such as solar panels, battery storage, and hydrogen fuel cells as a power source. Current planning would indicate that a natural gas power plant must be transitioned to renewable energy within 7 years if it is finished by 2028. Considering Transit's upcoming $917 million shortfall in 2025, it makes more sense to build one power plant rather than rebuild it after only 7 years of service. I urge Transit to keep with the governor's plan for all renewable energy by 2035 by building a renewable energy power plant. A planned retrofit introduces needless complexity and cost into the project plan." Thank you very much.
Thank you. And the next public comment is coming from Kaylee McAllister. Kaylee, your line is live and your time will now begin.
Good morning, everyone. Just a couple of quick comments. First, it is appalling the way these private bus carriers are abandoning bus service with little notice to the riding public. In some cases, just a few weeks. While everyone understands the financial pressures that have resulted following the pandemic, they had to know months before that they would be stopping service. To give customers such a short notice to find other travel options is just wrong on every level. I hope you will find the ways to hold them accountable. And I'll close with saying that I don't know how board members can take the nasty and insulting comments from Andy Weiss. Andy, you get it together. Stop whining and get a job. And from the repetitive and self-serving comments from Adam Reich, month after month, I think this customer advocate they keep talking about is the biggest waste of taxpayer money and will be totally ineffective. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you. There were no other public comments in queue at this time.
Thank you, public speakers. Are there any board member comments? Board Member Gordon?
Yes, thank you. I want to, of course, thank all of those who made comments today. I'd like to just respond to a couple of points. And particularly want to thank Commissioner O'Day and Hudson County officials for speaking today. I think we're all troubled by the bus cancellations in Hudson County, and I'm confident that staff is at work on that, and I would hope that at some point staff could report to us on what the current situation is and their plans for addressing these problems before the deadlines reach us. Secondly, I would just like to pick up on comments made by Tim Sevener and our good friend Andy Weiss about the Hudson-Bergen Light Rail. I personally was outraged that the federal government, not New Jersey Transit, but the federal government decided that there were additional bureaucratic hurdles that needed to be climbed, causing what could be 2 more years of delay in the initiation of this project, which is absolutely critical to eastern Bergen County. And I just want to urge our federal officials, the New Jersey delegation in particular, to do whatever they can to see if we can overcome these bureaucratic hurdles and get this project, which is desperately needed, underway. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any additional board member comments? Okay.
Hearing none, we'll move on to our committee reports. I would call upon Anne Marie Ganella Rosado to present the advisory committee report.
Thank you, and good morning, Madam Chair, Vice Chair, board members, and staff. The North and South Passenger Advisory Committees met jointly and virtually on September 8th, whereby we began our meeting with a moment of silence and shared memories of the late Ron Monaco, Vice Chair of the North PAC. Ron's service on the TAC spanned 35 years. Next, we received a presentation on Avatar, the Autonomous Vehicle Assessment, Testing, and Research Pilot Program from Jack Dean, Senior Program Director, Research and Community Services. The PACs were given an update on the federal and state legislation and local government affairs from the Government and Community Relations team. New Jersey Transit continues the popular Student Pass discount program. Full-time students commuting to participating regional colleges and universities can receive 25% off monthly passes and can buy 3 months and get 1 month free. And as President Corbett mentioned, the United Railroad Historical Society is partnering with New Jersey Transit to operate a special excursion train called the 40th Anniversary Express on September 30th. In celebration of the 40 years of transit rail operations, New Jersey Transit heritage locomotives will be displayed at the Hoboken Terminal on October 1st. And he also mentioned that New Jersey Transit was awarded the highest honor from APTA by being named the 2023 winner of the Outstanding Transportation System Award. And for the third straight year, Forbes has named New Jersey Transit its America's Best in State Employers on its 2023 list. This year, New Jersey Transit ranked 5th. New Jersey Transit offered rail service to MetLife Stadium concerts and preseason football in August and September. Beginning September 10th, Transit will offer service for every Jets and Giants home game. In South Jersey, Transit is launching a discount program to Philly beginning October 1st and running through October 31st. A launching of a new page on the website that provides integrated travel instructions to South Jersey sports complexes, and that would be newjerseytransit.com/South Philly. Transit also offered discounts and additional rail serves on the Atlantic City Rail Line for the Atlantic City Air Show in August. Early getaway service was offered on rail and bus for the start of the Labor Day weekend on September 1st. I recently attended the New Jersey Transit Forum on Access Link. The purpose is to develop new policies regarding on-time performances, scheduling inefficiencies, long onboard time, hold times, and staff complaints. Further, the PAC supports 4 resolutions on the agenda today. They are 230954, authorizing to continue the Phase 2 of the contract for the Walter Rand Transportation Center Improvement Project. 230964, authorizing for the operation of the Salem County Local Bus Service. 230965, authorization to operate the Monmouth County Local Bus Service. And 230966, authorization for bus network redesign for Hudson County. Lastly, the next PAC meeting is scheduled for October 20th. That concludes my report, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Anna Marie. We appreciate it. We'll now move on to board committee reports. I would call on Board Member Cruz to present the Operations and Customer Service Committee report.
The Operations and Customer Service Committee received an update on trends, analysis, and actions for rail, bus, light rail, and Access Link. The committee also received an update on the cost of service. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Cruz. Board Member Marocco will present the Administration Committee report.
The Administration Committee received a financial update. This included a summary of operating results compared to previous year's comparable period and fiscal year 24 budget, 12-month fare box revenue compared to pre-COVID, major balance sheet items and federal COVID-19 relief grant drawdown summary. Additional information was provided as part of the agenda materials, including the cost of service key performance indicators, 12-month fare box recovery, history of vacancies, attritions and hires, ridership and revenue, and a monthly budget to actual comparison for July 2023. The committee also received updates from Human Resources and Equal Employment Opportunity and Affirmative Action. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Board Member Marocco. I will now call upon Board Member Cruz to provide us with the Capital Planning Policy and Privatization Committee report.
The Capital Planning, Policy, and Privatization Committee discussed the board items for the Mawa Station roof repairs, conceptual, preliminary, and final engineering services and construction assistance services for the Walter Rand Transportation Center Improvement Project, Initiate Phase 2, amendment to the 2016 Task Order Consultant Contract Number 16-037C to increase task limit, disposition of NJ Transit-owned excess property to advance a transit-oriented development project at Bound Brook Station, amendment to the Declaration of Covenants, Conditions, and Restrictions between NJ Transit and Somerset Development, LLC to advance Phase 2 of the transit-oriented development project at Somerville Station, Information Technology Award of Contract to Dell, Inc. for Microsoft Enterprise Agreement for Office Computing, Information Technology Award of Contract to Emvation Worldwide, Inc. for a subscription license for Veritas Vault Cloud Advanced e-Discovery Suite, contracting out Salem County Local Bus Service, Monmouth County Area Local Bus Service, Bus Networking Redesign Hudson County, and fiscal year 2024-2029 replica travel data for ridership and financial planning. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Cruz. Board Member Gordon, will you please present the Energy and Sustainability Policy Committee report?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. I will do that. The Energy and Sustainability Policy Committee received updates on a number of topics. First, the education, outreach, and development activities of the organization. We heard a report on Tier 4 locomotives, which is a locomotive which uses technology that minimizes its environmental impact. We got an update on the sustainability plan. And we also heard a report on efforts by New Jersey Transit to explore opportunities for solar energy on our properties. I think we're all very excited on the committee to hear about this. There are, we believe, great opportunities to utilize our real estate assets for solar projects, which would generate additional sources of income for the organization. And that concludes my report, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Board Member Gordon. We'll now move to action items. Kevin, please begin.
Thanks, Chair. I'd like to introduce Rich Schaefer, Senior Vice President, Capital Programs, present Board Item 2309-53 regarding Mawa Station. Rich.
Thank you, President Corbett. We are presenting for approval Item 2309-53, Mawa Station roof repairs. Authorization is requested to enter into a contract with DMR Construction Services, Incorporated of Waldwick, New Jersey, to provide construction services for the Mawa Station roof repairs in the amount not to exceed $2,464,464.93 plus 5% for contingencies subject to the availability of funds. We ask for your approval on Item 2309-53.
So moved, Kaniff.
May I have a second? Any discussion? Hearing none, Megan, please take roll.
Roll call vote. Board Member Gordon? Yes. Board Member Marocco?
Yes.
Board Member Medina?
Yes.
Board Member Caniff?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair Gutierrez-Scacchetti?
Yes.
Motion carried. For the record, Board Member Medina is recused from the next item and will not comment or vote on the item.
Good to go. Okay, great, thanks. I'd ask Rich to continue with item 2309-54 regarding Walter Rand Transportation Center. Rich.
Thank you, President Corbett. We are presenting for approval Item 2309-54, Conceptual, Preliminary, and Final Engineering Services and Construction Assistance Services for Walter Rand Transportation Center Improvement Project, Initiate Phase 2. Authorization is requested to continue Phase 2 of a contract with HNTB of New York, New York, and authorize the amount not to exceed $6,997,707.94 plus 5% for contingencies subject to the availability of funds for services for the Walter Rand Transportation Center Improvement Project. We ask for your approval for Item 2309-54.
May I have a motion to approve the item?
So moved, Kaniff.
May I have a second? Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, Megan, please take roll.
Roll call vote, Board Member Gordon? Board Member Morocco?
Yes.
Board Member Caniff?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair Gutierrez Scacchetti?
Yes.
Motion carried. For the record, Board Member Medina is recused from the next item and will not comment or vote on the item.
Thanks. I'd now ask Rich to continue with 2309-55 regarding a task order consultant contract for related to the Bayhead substation. Rich.
Thank you, President Corbett. We are presenting for approval item 2309-55, amendment to the 2016 task order consultant contract 16037C to increase the task limit. Authorization is requested to increase the individual task limit for a contract with Gannett Fleming Incorporated of Newark, New Jersey from $500,000 by an additional $750,000 for a total individual task limit authorization of $1.25 million and 0 cents. We ask for your approval of 2309-55. Thank you.
May I have a motion to approve? May I have a second?
Second, Caniff.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, Megan, please take roll.
Roll call vote, Board Member Gordon? Board Member Morocco?
Yes.
Board Member Caniff?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair Gutierrez Scacchetti?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Great, thank you. Would now ask Jackie Stanford, Acting Senior Vice President, Chief Financial Officer, and Treasurer, to present item 2309-56 regarding a property disposition related to TOD project at Boundbrook Station. Jackie?
Kevin, we are presenting for approval item number 2309-56, disposition of New Jersey Transit-owned excess property to advance a transit-oriented development project at Boundbrook Station. Authorization is requested to take all necessary actions to advance and execute a disposition of the New Jersey Transit-owned property in order to realize a transit-oriented development project at New Jersey Transit's Boundbrook Station. We ask for your approval of item number 2309-56.
May I have a motion to approve? May I have a second?
Second, Caniff.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, Megan, please take roll.
Roll call vote, Board Member Gordon?
Yes.
Board Member Morocco?
Yes.
Board Member Medina?
Yes.
Board Member Caniff?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair Gutierrez Scacchetti?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. I now ask Jackie to continue with 2309-56 related to advancing a development project at Somerville Station. Jackie?
We are presenting for approval item number 2309-57, amendment of the Declaration of Covenants, Conditions, and Restrictions between New Jersey Transit and Somerset Development, LLC, to advance Phase 2 of the transit-oriented development project at Somerville Station. Authorization is requested to take all necessary actions to amend the Declaration of Covenants, Conditions, and Restrictions between New Jersey Transit and Somerset, LLC, and all the necessary agreements to advance Phase 2 of the transit-oriented development project at Somerville Station. We ask for your approval of item number 2309-57.
May I have a motion to approve?
So moved, Caniff.
May I have a second? Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, may I have a roll call vote, Megan?
Roll call vote, Board Member Gordon?
Yes.
Board Member Morocco?
Yes.
Board Member Medina?
Yes.
Board Member Caniff?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair Gutierrez Scacchetti?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Great, thank you. I now ask Jackie to continue on with the next item, 2309-58, regarding to information technology, awarding a contract to Dell Incorporated.
We are presenting for approval item number 2309-58, Information Technology Award of Contract to Dell Inc. for Microsoft Enterprises Agreement for Office Computing. Authorization is requested to contract with Dell Inc. of Round Rock, Texas for the period of November 1st, 2023 through October 31st, 2026 in an amount not to exceed $14,013,878.17 plus 5% for contingencies, subject to the availability of funds. We ask for your approval of item number 2309-58.
May I have a motion to approve? May I have a second?
Second,
Megan, any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, Megan, take roll call vote.
Roll call vote, Board Member Gordon?
Yes.
Board Member Morocco?
Yes.
Board Member Medina?
Yes.
Board Member Kena?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair Gutierrez Scacchetti?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Great, thank you. Now ask Jackie to continue with another information technology item, 2309-59, regarding software.
We are presenting for approval item number 2309-59, Information Technology, award of contract to Envation Worldwide, Inc. for a subscription license for Veritas Vault Cloud Advanced e-Discovery Suite. Authorization is requested to award a contract to Envation Worldwide, Inc. of Glen Cove, New York, for a 36-month period in an amount not to exceed $1,015,080, plus 5% for contingencies, subject to the availability of funds. We ask for approval of item number 2309-59.
May I have a motion to approve? May I have a second?
Second, Kane.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, Megan, please take roll.
Roll call vote, Board Member Gordon?
Yes.
Board Member Morocco?
Yes.
Board Member Medina?
Yes.
Board Member Kena?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair Gutierrez Scacchetti?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Great, thank you. Now I'd like Jackie to continue on with 2309-60 regarding rulemaking process. Jackie.
We are presenting for approval item number 2309-60, regulations, proposed initiation of the rulemaking process for adoption of NJAC 16:77, use or occupancy of New Jersey Transit-owned property. Authorization is requested to take all actions necessary to initiate the rulemaking process as a step toward effectuating the adoption of NJAC 16:77, use or occupancy of New Jersey Transit-owned property, consistent with this board item and corresponding exhibit. We ask for your approval of item number 2309-60.
May I have a motion? May I have a second?
Second, Kane.
Any discussion on this motion? Hearing none, Megan, please take roll call vote.
Roll call vote, Board Member Gordon? Board Member Morocco?
Yes.
Board Member Medina?
Yes.
Board Member Kena?
Kane? Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair Gutierrez Scacchetti?
Yes.
Motion carried. For the record, Board Members Brown and Thomas are recused from the next three items, 2309-61, 2309-62, and 2309-63, and will not comment on the items.
Thank you. I'd now ask Jackie to continue with 2309-61 regarding a personal injury claim.
We're presenting for approval item number 2309-61, personal injury claim of Cesar Arce. Authorization is requested to settle the claim of Cesar Arce through his attorney at an amount discussed in executive session. The Attorney General has approved the proposed settlement, subject to the availability of funds. We ask for your approval of item 2309-61.
May I have a motion to approve? May I have a second? Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, Megan, please take roll.
Roll call vote, Board Member Gordon?
Yes.
Board Member Morocco?
Yes.
Board Member Medina?
Yes.
Board Member Kena?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair Gutierrez Scacchetti?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Great, thank you. I'd ask Jackie now continue with 2309-62, the second injury claim case. Jackie.
We are presenting for approval item number 2309-62, personal injury claim of Sarunga Jayathunga. Authorization is requested to settle the claim of Sarunga Jayathunga through his attorney at an amount discussed in executive session. The Attorney General has approved the proposed settlement, subject to the availability of funds. We ask for your approval of item 2309-62.
May I have a motion to approve? May I have a second?
Second, Kane.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, Megan, please take roll.
Roll call vote, Board Member Gordon?
Yes.
Board Member Morocco?
Yes.
Board Member Medina?
Yes.
Board Member Caniff?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair Gutierrez Scacchetti?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Great, thank you. And now, Jackie, this will be the last one. You'll get a break after this for present 2309-63, the last of the three personal injury claim cases.
We are presenting for approval item number 2309-63, personal injury claim of Omash Hunandan. Apologies. Authorization is requested to settle the claim of Omash Raghunandan through his attorney at an amount discussed in executive session. The Attorney General has approved the proposed settlement, subject to the availability of funds. We ask for your approval of item number 2309-63.
May I have a motion to approve? May I have a second? Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Megan, please take roll call vote.
Roll call vote, Board Member Gordon? Yes. Board Member Morocco?
Yes.
Board Member Medina?
Yes.
Board Member Caniff?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair Gutierrez Scacchetti?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Great, thank you. Now, we'll ask Mike Kilcoyne, Senior Vice President, Surface Transit and General Manager of Bus Operations, present item 2309-64 regarding contracting out of Salem County Local Bus Service. Mike?
Thank you, President Corbett. Authorization is requested to enter into an interagency agreement with the County of Salem for a 5-year period from January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2028 for the operation of the Salem County Local Bus Service at a cost not to exceed $9,570,881 plus 5% for contingencies for a total contract authorization of $10,049,425, subject to the availability of funds and board approval of New Jersey Transit's operating budget.
May I have a motion to approve? May I have a second?
Second, Caniff.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Megan, please take roll. And Megan, I'm going to do this in reverse. My vote is yes. I need to take a phone call myself.
Okay.
Can you continue with the agenda, please?
Yes. Board Member Gordon?
Yes.
Board Member Morocco?
Yes.
Board Member Medina?
Yes.
Board Member Caniff?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
And as noted, Chair Gutierrez Scacchetti voted yes. Motion carried.
Great, thanks. I'd now like to have Mike continue on with 2309-65 regarding Monmouth County Area Local Bus Service. Mike?
Thank you, President Corbett. We are presenting for approval item 2309-65, Monmouth County Area Local Bus Service. Authorization is requested to amend the purposes of New Jersey Transit Mercer, Inc. to include the establishing, acquiring, effectuating, maintaining, developing, promoting, operating, and improving bus service in the Monmouth County and its local surrounding communities. Authorization is also requested to take all actions reasonably necessary for New Jersey Transit Mercer, Inc. to operate the Monmouth County Local Bus Service subject to the availability of funds. Authorization is also requested to negotiate and execute on behalf of New Jersey Transit Mercer, Inc. any labor agreements deemed necessary and appropriate by the Chair or President and CEO. We ask for your approval of item 2309-65.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve board item 2309-65?
Motion Cruz.
May I have a second? Discussion? Board Secretary, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote. Board Member Gordon? Board Member Morocco?
Yes.
Board Member Medina?
Yes.
Board Member Caniff?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Motion carried. For the record, Board Member Medina is recused from the next item and will not comment or vote on the item.
Great, thanks. I'd ask Mike then to continue with the third of his items, 2309-66, regarding the bus network redesign in Hudson County. Mike?
Thank you, President Corbett. We are presenting for approval item 2309-66, bus network redesign for Hudson County. This project, supported by a $514,045 grant provided through FTA's Route Planning Restoration Program, will conduct a comprehensive review of the local bus network in Hudson County, identifying emerging market needs, and develop recommendations that maximizes system efficiency. This study could not be more timely or relevant for the long-term service planning needs in Hudson County as ridership patterns and markets continue to evolve in a post-pandemic era. Authorization is requested to enter into a contract with Sam Schwartz Engineering of Jersey City, New Jersey, for a 24-month contract period of November 1st, 2023 through November 1st of 2025 in the amount not to exceed $1,102,522, plus 5% for contingencies subject to the availability of funds. We ask your approval of item 2309-66.
May I have a motion to approve? May I have a second?
Second, Caniff.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, Megan, please take roll.
Roll call vote, Board Member Gordon?
Yes.
Board Member Morocco?
Yes.
Board Member Caniff?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair Gutierrez-Scacchetti?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Great, thank you, Mike. Now I'd like to introduce Justin Davis, Senior Vice President, Regulatory and Government Affairs and Chief of Staff, 2309-67, regarding replica travel data.
Thank you, President Corbett. Board, we're presenting for approval item number 2309-67 for fiscal years 24 through 29, replica travel data for ridership and financial planning. Authorization is being requested to enter into a 60-month contract with Replica, Inc. of Leawood, Kansas for the period of October 1st, 2023 through October 1st, 2028 in the amount of $3 million or $600,000 per fiscal year, subject to the availability of funds. We ask for your approval of item 2309-67.
May I have a motion to approve? May I have a second?
Second, Caniff.
Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, Megan, please take roll.
Roll call vote, Board Member Gordon?
Yes.
Board Member Morocco?
Yes.
Board Member Medina?
Yes.
Board Member Caniff?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair Gutierrez-Scacchetti?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. I'd now ask Justin to continue on with 2309-68 regarding NJ Transit's Title VI program submission.
Thank you.
Justin.
We're presenting for approval item number 2309-68, New Jersey Transit Title VI program submission for fiscal years 24 through 26. Authorization is requested to approve the results of New Jersey Transit's monitoring of its service to ensure the service is provided equitably in minority and non-minority areas. Authorization is also requested to approve New Jersey Transit's Title VI program submission for fiscal year 24 through 26 for submission to the Federal Transit Administration. We ask for your approval of item number 2309-68.
May I have a motion to approve? May I have a second?
Second, Caniff.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, Megan, please take roll.
Roll call vote, Board Member Gordon? Board Member Morocco?
Yes.
Board Member Medina?
Yes.
Board Member Caniff?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair Gutierrez-Scacchetti?
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, now ask Chief Trusello, Senior Vice President and Chief of Police and of Office of Emergency Management, to present the last item for action item for today, 2309-69, regarding regulatory changes.
Thank you,
Chief.
President Corbett. We are presenting for approval item number 2309-69, regulations, proposed initiation of the rulemaking process for readoption with amendments of New Jersey Administrative Code 16:83, conduct and safety of the public in the use of New Jersey transit equipment and facilities. Authorization is requested to take all actions necessary to initiate the rulemaking process for the readoption of the regulations, NJAC 16:83, conduct and safety of the public in the use of New Jersey transit equipment and facilities, consistent with this board item and corresponding exhibit. We ask for your approval of item number 2309-69.
Thank you, Chief. May I have a motion to approve board number 2309-69? May I have a second? Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, Megan, please take roll.
Roll call vote, Board Member Gordon? Board Member Morocco?
Yes.
Board Member Medina?
Yes.
Board Member Kane? Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair Gutierrez Scacchetti?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Before we adjourn to executive session, I want to let the public know that we will return to adjourn the meeting, but no further business will be conducted. May I have a motion to enter into executive session to discuss personnel matters, contract negotiations, the status of pending and anticipated litigation, and matters falling into the attorney-client privilege, including but not limited to the personal injury claim of the estate of Raphael Carfy. May I have a second? Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, Megan, please take roll.
Roll call vote, Board Member Gordon? Yes. Board Member Morocco?
Yes.
Board Member Medina?
Yes.
Board Member Kane?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Chair Gutierrez Scacchetti?
Yes.
Motion carried.
In the open session board meetings. Board Secretary, please take roll call.
Roll call, Board Member Gordon? Here. Board Member Morocco?
Here.
Board Member Medina?
Here.
Board Member Kena?
Here.
Board Member Cruz?
Here.
Vice Chair Carson?
Here.
All right, since there is no further business, may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? May I have a second?
Second, Cruz.
Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried, meeting adjourned. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good weekend.
Take care.